Welcome once again for some of us that are just joining us. My name is Oluwaseyi Adaradegbe. I'm the head of product owner of Qace Homes. And with me here, we have our founder, and also I can see that our product lead also is on the call too. So Qace Home, who we are, Qace Home is a Lagos-based real estate technology innovator transforming how we buy, we sell, and how we manage and invest in real estate. So it's not just a property management system we are building. We intend to build a lot of things within the ecosystem. Some of our plan is to help the realtor, the agent, I would call them, on how to sell their property, on how to prove their property to the right prospects, instead of just posting randomly on social media or some other property marketplace. So part of our plan in Qace Homes is to do that. And currently, we are focusing on landlord, property manager, and building communication between the landlord and the property manager. So that's what we are currently building now. I'm going to go deeper in that later on. I'm just trying to, introduce us to who we are and what we currently do and our focus in Qace Homes. So what we usually do is they're just technology companies that real estate technology companies that want to build, they want to transform how we buy property, how we sell property, and how we manage property in Africa. So our mission is very simple, and to empower every player in real estate, investor, agent, landlord, tenant with the tools that make transactions faster, smarter, and more profitable. We have profitable data, when we're doing research on our current product that want to push to the market, we find out that most of the landlords, they are not getting value for their property, for their investment. Meaning that some of them project to have return on the investment on their property within 5 to 10 years. They find out that they are still on 15 years, no profit, no return on the investment, and they can't move to another investment. So what we are trying to do in Qace Homes is to giving them value for their money on how they can track their investments, on how they can see return on their investment using data. So our vision also is very simple: to become Africa's most trusted real estate technology ecosystem, where innovation drives growth, trust. I want us. I know that we all know that real estate is capital intensive, and in order for you to transact your fund between one person to another, it has to be trust. It has to be based on trust. Because for instance, let's say that I'm a real estate developer. You want to give me your money to buy from me. You have to trust me to do that. So one thing that we're trying to build using technology is to build trust between the two parties, the developer and the consumer that wants to consume the product. The developer, meaning the buyer. So we are trying to build a technology that will build trust within the two channels and sustainability. So what we do. So what we do here is like I said, we are trying to build a digital passport whereby you can have seamless transaction between two parties, enhanced communication, data-driven insights, and agent empowerment platform. So currently, what we are focusing on now, which I will go deeper in later on this call, we are focusing on our product, which is property management system, which is digital transaction, enhanced communication, and data-driven. These are some of the three things that we are currently building now. We are trying to build a robust platform whereby a portfolio manager, a property manager can have their portfolio in one channel and track the expense and track the return on investment and track every money in and out of a particular property. And also the other one is to enhance communication, that big communication between the two parties, the tenant and the landlord. Because we found out that most of tenants, now that rents on their increase now, some tenants don't want to leave the property. And not because they don't have option. They have option because they can't afford the option. They just stay there. And one thing we are trying to build in that way, we're trying to build a very robust communication between the two parties, whereby as a tenant, I can raise a ticket of a maintenance that, oh, I need plumber in my apartment. And you, as a tenant and the department, will be able to track that particular maintenance complaint and to be finished. So that's some of the things that we're trying to build with Qace Homes. And third one is the data-driven insight. So initially, I was talking about how some landlords don't get return on investment on their investment on their properties, meaning that some landlords want to build 3 property within 5 years, but they don't find that building 1 or 2 because they can't track the actual investment from the previous one they built, they invested in. Why? Because it's lack proper data to make insightful decisions. And the fourth one on what we do is agent empowerment platform. We have traditional platforms like Nigerian Property Center, Property Pro, Private Property, Buy, Let, Live. So we have platforms like them. But what we want to do is that we want to create a robust platform whereby you'll be able to, when you post your property, you'll be able to attract the right buyer, you'll be able to attract the right occupants. How are we going to do that? We'll be doing that using AI to do that. So I don't want to. We have a lot of plan around that, but now since we are not building that now, it's some of the things that we are going to build later on. But I don't want to let the cat out of the basket now because we have a lot of plan around that. So that's why we are trying to do something that instead of, because a normal transaction of real estate goes through 30 to 40 days. 30 to 40. So we are trying to decrease that duration to like 10 to 15 days so that you can close the transaction and move to the next transaction. So this is a big one. So upcoming launching, which is the Qace Homes PMS, Property Management System for Property Managers, which we propose to launch the first MVP to be launched in May 2025. So some of the problems that we are trying to solve using with our PMS, missed rents. Research by PwC in 2024 says that 60% of Nigerian property managers lose revenue to late payments. I can tell you that. I used to let me say I used to be a property manager myself or manager myself. I find that I've lost some deals from property through this process because landlords want to get their money in real time and they want to know where their money is going and now they want to be able to track how their money is coming in. And because of that, because we were doing a lot of things manually using spreadsheets and using our paperwork, we couldn't track revenues. We couldn't track return on the investment for the landlord. We couldn't track some of the expenses that we incur ourselves. We couldn't track them. So due to that, there are loss of revenue year in, year out. Year in, year out. So number two, so another problem that they're trying to tackle is tenant turnover. Because we use manual process to manage property, it costs 40% tenant dissatisfaction and high vacancy rate. I can tell you this one for free because I had the privilege to manage. I managed close to 62 property units currently in Lagos, Nigeria, and 75% of the property they are on the island. And this is our major headache because we do a lot of things with manual processing. We find out that we have decrease in our tenant dissatisfaction. So what we want to do with our system is to build a robust communication between the two parties, between us, the property manager, and the tenant, whereby the tenant will be able to chat us up any time of the day and have conversation with us and say, "Oh, I'm currently having issue with my gas. My gas is leaking. Can you get someone to come fix it?" And we'll be able to do that within let's say 8 to 10 hours. And we'll be able to track that instead of doing manual process using phone calls and trying to track that particular maintenance, which will lead to tenant dissatisfaction. And when you're dissatisfied with a particular service that you're paying for, you will want to move to another place whereby you will get a value for what you are paying for. So another problem that we're trying to tackle is operation overload. Operation overload. We find that 15 hours plus in the week based on spreadsheets, phone calls, paperwork. That's so true because you spend so much hours, so much time paperwork, trying to track expense, trying to track the tenant that is only owing for owing rent, trying to track the tenant that's only owing for service charge. So we spend more hours, 15 hours in a week, trying to track all this expense, whereby you can just go to your dashboard with one click and see all the information that you need to see per time. So these are some of the things, these are some of the problems we are trying to solve with our PMS. Fourthly, fraud and transparent gap. I said earlier that one of the things that we do, because let's say the capital intensive of investments, there are a lot of fraud within the industry ecosystem. So the Nigerian Institution of Ethics, Survey and Value in 2023 says that 30% of lease disputes steal from lack of because there's no proper information feed. Let me give you an instance. For instance, you have a particular tenant that is meant to renew his or her rent in April, and sometimes tenants can be very funny. Sometimes we tenant can be very funny, and we just change it for you that no, my rent is doing in August or July. Why? Because there's no proper record keeping for the day that tenant paid the rent, the day the tenant moved into the apartment or the shop or the shopping mall. There was no proper record keeping. So this can cause a bit of a fraud between the property manager and the tenant. So our approach is simple. Our approach is simple to deal with all this English I've been saying since morning about tenant dissatisfaction, loss of revenue. So we intend to build a robust system, like I said earlier, is to build a portfolio dashboard whereby if you did a glance, you'll be able to see your portfolio. You'll be able to see all the property you are managed end to end. You'll be able to monitor the ROI. You'll be able to monitor the occupancy rates. You'll be able to monitor your expense across all property within just one click. Within just one click, you'll be able to see a summary, a report of how each property is doing. You'll be able to see a report of how each location, where the money you are getting from a particular location. You'll be able to see the money you are spending on a particular property. So with our platform also, you'll be able to assign, repair, and track maintenance in real time. You'll be able to, like I said earlier, I was talking about when a tenant call for a repair. With our platform, you'll be able to see a robust tracking system whereby you'll be able to track from the moment the client call to issue that ticket to the day that the ticket is being delivered, meaning that the day the repair is being made. So the third one is secure payment collection. There will be an automated notification to the tenant. Maybe for instance, in law, it says that you are meant to send a reminder to your tenant 3 months before the expire of the rent and 2 weeks before, so that you keep loop. So I will miss you and say, I didn't tell me before, I don't know. So with our platform, there will be a strict communications channel, end-to-end communication channel from to and a platform whereby the tenant or let's say the occupant can just go to the platform and just click on one click and make payments for the rent. That's what we're trying to do. And last but not least, on what we're trying to push out is AI screening. So one of the problems that most property managers and landlords face is that we intend to bring in tenants to our apartment. We intend to bring in tenants to our shops, and we without proper due diligence. And we find out that after the first payment, most of these guys cannot pay for the next rent. Why? They can only meaning that they can only afford to pay the first year because they have cash on hand. But because you didn't do your due diligence, you didn't do your proper research, you didn't do your proper screening, you're not able to know if this client will be able to, if this customer will be able to pay for the next year rent, if this client will be able to pay for the next month's rent, if this client will be able to pay for another year of renewing the rent. So with our platform, what we are trying to do, we are trying to build a system whereby you just with some information from that tenant, you'll be able to check if this person is credit worthy using NIN. So one of the things we want to partner with the NIMS to get an API whereby we can track or do a screening of a particular occupant before bringing the person on board, using an AI to do that. So these are some of the things that we intend to do. So these are the team that have been working tirelessly just to make this product come to life, which will come to life very soon. And that's our founder, which you guys know. This is myself also. My name is Oluwaseyi once again, and our CEO and our product lead, Mayor Yunusa, and Mr. Gbenga, the CTO. These are the team behind this particular product, which we intend to launch first in May. I don't want to put some of my team on call on